Live from the studios of First Coast News, Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. This is First Coast Living.
Hello, happy Monday and welcome to First Coast Living. I'm Jordan Wilkerson. David is taking the day off to be with family, so we'll see you tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm ready to get started. We've got a full house once again. So right now, it is time for Living in the Kitchen. And why don't y'all come in, boys? We've got Executive Chef Prime of 802 Prime Catering, along with his sous chef, David Carino. So thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, this is great. So, I mean, we've had your food a couple times here. Right. I think David was with you one time by himself, but then I had your food when you came and catered our Christmas party, and it was delicious.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for that. But tell us a little bit about 802 Catering before we get into what we're making today.
So Prime 802 Catering is basically to honor my great-grandmother, Ruby Harris. I grew up in Jacksonville Beach. And as I was telling you before, Prime 802 came from the address I grew up on 802 Shetter Avenue. And so we had so many dinners in the home, night after night, night after night. And so it turned into a lifestyle for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what do you specialize in, or you just kind of do everything?
We do culinary. We make everything.
Yeah.
You know, everybody loves our signature lamb chops. They love the bruschetta. You know, the list goes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know I liked what you made last time. All right. So what are you guys doing today?
So today we are making mashed potatoes from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah. We call them rubies.
Okay.
And so then we have French green beans, and we're going to make some lamb rack for you.
Oh my gosh. Now, what does lamb rack mean exactly?
So that's the rib of
when they
the
say
lamb.
like a rack of ribs.
A rack of lamb
okay.
that comes on the bone. You know, you hear people say lamb chops, but lamb chops are actually a different cut.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
so they look more like a pork chop.
Okay, so are you going to start kind of that process right now?
Yeah, we're going to start.
All right,
that
so
process
what is the first step? It looks like you've already boiled some water here.
Yeah, he'll tell you the first step.
Go for it, David.
We started boiling the water. The potatoes in the water, salt, a little olive oil.
You put oil in the water?
Yeah, just a
I've
little bit.
never done that
you know
before.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Just enhances the flavor.
Yeah.
And we're going to strain them, mash them up, and we're going to finish them with chives. We got some cream and we got some parm.
Oh my
cheese.
gosh,
so
that
it should be
sounds
nice,
so
creamy
good.
flavor, and I think y'all enjoy it.
And then that secret seasoning, because you know I have my own jerk seasoning.
Oh.
Remember, you know, so that's what was on that.
Did you bring
salmon.
any?
Yeah, I didn't bring any, but I do have some. I can get you guys some.
Okay,
for sure.
good. And it's probably a secret, right? You don't
Yeah,
tell me.
it is.
That's fine. And then when you're preparing these, because you're probably going to do some of this when we're kind of moving on to a different interview, I guess.
Right.
So how will you be? Let's just show these because these are beautiful.
So I'm going to, I cut those fresh this morning.
Okay.
And so these will be pan seared.
And that goes pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty quickly too.
Yeah, those are beautiful. But lamb is so small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably eat this whole thing, huh?
Right.
What do you normally like to cook when you're like, if somebody said just surprise me, what is your favorite?
So
thing?
my go-to is healthy, you know. So
I love that.
So I would do like a pineapple jerk chicken bowl.
What?
You know, pineapple jerk chicken bowl inside the pineapple, where you make the fresh pico de gala with the inside of the pineapple to use it so you don't lose. You know, you want to be.
So you're getting creative with it though, because that's cool. I haven't heard about that. What about you? What do you like to cook the best or the most?
He was talking about short rib, and I love pairing short rib with some polenta.
Ooh, I do love polenta.
Having a nice sugo sauce, like go right on top. After you do a great demi glaze. You gotta have a great demi glaze.
Y'all might have to come back and show us how to do that.
No, we will.
Like teach us the glaze. That would be cool.
We can do that.
Never
We'll do
done
short
that.
rib.
Oh, okay.
We'll bring short ribs and we'll clean them, cut them, and we'll take care of you.
Awesome.
Yes,
well, if you need to go ahead and get started, I don't know whether the meat, I don't know how quick, maybe you need to wait. Do you need to wait for it? Because we'll come back in like 20 minutes for you.
Yeah, come back.
Okay, we'll come back and we'll explain everything that he did. If somebody is interested though in hiring you for catering, how do they get in touch?
So you can reach out to me on my Instagram, which is Prime802Cater. On Facebook, you can also reach us at 802 Prime, and you can reach us on Twitter at Prime802Cater. And of course, our email is prime802@outlook.com.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I cannot wait to try it. It sounds amazing. So I'm going to let them get to work and head on over here because Limelight Theater is kicking off its 35th season. And we've got Missy, Chad, and Dawn to tell us all about it. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right, Missy, let's start with you. For viewers who may not be familiar with Limelight, tell us about the theater and what this milestone means for you.
Absolutely. We are a year-round community theater down in St. Augustine. We produce roughly 8 shows a year, a mixture of plays and musicals. And then in addition to that, we have an education department that we do classes, workshops, and about 6 student productions a year. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
we are very busy, and yeah, 35 years of nurturing local talents, directors, and providing for theater lovers.
Very cool. And Chad, you're starring as Frank Abagnale Jr. in Catch Me If You Can. I think everybody knows that story, that movie as well. So tell us about Frank and what it's been like taking on that role.
Well, it's such an energetic role. A lot of people know the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, but I don't think a lot of people know about the musical. It's an amazing musical. It's actually the same writers as Hairspray, who wrote the musical for that.
Yeah.
It's an amazing role. It's an amazing true story as well. You know, he impersonated a pilot,
I know,
a
it's
lawyer,
crazy.
I know, a doctor,
How the
all
heck?
these things, and he stole all this money, and eventually he got caught and he worked for the FBI and things like that. But it's so amazing. I'm having such a great time, and I don't have to do all these like moody, you know, serious actor stuff. So it's just a great break from it, and I love working with Dawn.
Yeah, you get to work on that range, right, of
Yeah.
the serious, but then now you get to have a little bit more fun.
Yeah,
and, that kind of
and
thing.
I don't have to go home after rehearsal and be so sad all the time.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm sure that can be hard sometimes because you have to channel
You
that
have
for
to
the
turn
show,
it off,
and then learn how to turn it
Lots
off.
of ice cream and eating
Comfort
your
food.
Exactly.
Eating your feelings, right? Self-soothing in a way. Dawn, what drew you to directing Catch Me If You Can, and what has been your favorite part bringing this production to life?
Well, I mean, the story itself is so incredible and fascinating that you know that from the movie. But I think on top of that was listening to the music.
Yeah.
I mean, the music, like you said, was from the creators of Hairspray. It's just so high energy. That pop sound, audiences are going to have a great time when they come see this show.
That's awesome. I'm sure you've had a lot of fun.
Yes,
Again,
absolutely.
with like going maybe from some serious topics to now.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like how you're feeling. Is it like that with directing too? Like when you direct something that's a little bit lighthearted compared to something that's heavier?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Although there's some, I wouldn't say heavy parts to this, but there's a message. There's a really strong message, but you're not hit in the head with it.
Right.
It's a lot of energy, a
It's
lot
gentle.
of fun. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And just working with the cast and the creative team has
How
made
many
it.
people are on the team?
There are, well, for the players, there are 18 of them.
Okay.
But then, of course, we have the designers and we have the backstage crew, the
Right.
stage managers. So it's a real community effort.
Yeah,
It's
a good team effort.
Yes.
How important, let's talk about arts and education and creating opportunities for young people to experience and participate in theater. Why is that so important?
Well, I think people don't realize that beyond the final production and teaching them how to sing and dance and act, you're also instilling in them confidence, empathy. You know, when they're working on a story that someone is struggling or whatever, it teaches them to have empathy for their fellow human being. Organization, they have to learn lines. And also, specifically with kids, they're going to school all day.
Right.
So they're balancing homework and rehearsals and all of that. And then teamwork. I mean, you know, theater kids really band together.
Yeah, it
and
becomes a family.
Yes, exactly. And so it teaches them to rely on one another. You know, someone misses a line, they step right in there.
Like
So-
trusting each other. Too.
Exactly, a lot of trust.
That's
yes.
cool. So why is continued support for the arts so important to organizations like Limelight and the broader community?
Well, unfortunately, it always seems to be the first thing on the chopping block with funding, specifically in schools and in communities. And so without the support of either grants or patron donations or even just purchasing a ticket,
Right.
we can't bring these stories to life and create accessible, affordable theater for our community.
Well, make sure you go out and support Limelight Theater. If they want more information or to get tickets, where can they go?
They can go to our website, www.limelight-theater with an R-E, .org.
And then is there also a little promo there? Do we have something on the screen? What does this say?
I don't have my glasses on.
I know, I'm like nearsighted. Look at the screen, everybody. They've got some information for you there.
Yes, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're all over the place.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me and break a leg.
Thank you again for having us.
How long is this production going on? Really quickly.
September 10th to the 27th.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
No excuses. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you
I'm
so
heading
much
over
for
here.
having us.
Of course, of course. All right, it is now time for Modern Motherhood with Jacksonville Mom. We've got Dominique Landry here. And you're here to tell us how the moms can get back on track now that school's back. You know, we think a lot of times too with the routine starting again that everything's going to go back to how it was, but it kind of takes time to get back into that, right? So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this. Back to school season. It can be chaotic, exciting, but stressful. So what's the first thing you recommend doing to get families back? into the routine?
So I think the best thing people can do is to pick like 3 kind of anchors to focus on. So don't try to focus on everything all at one time.
Right.
My choices would be meals, sleep, and just like getting that schedule right. So, and of course, you know I have to say it, movement.
Yes,
right?
fitness.
Fitness. Yes, you
love
have to do it. So meals, just figuring out 2 to 3 meals that are easy to prep each week. Schedules, getting everyone back on a consistent bedtime routine. That is taking me out right now
yeah.
because the kids all have different nighttime schedules. But if you can do it now. And then finally, and especially for busy moms, scheduling in your movement. Put it in the calendar just like you do everything else.
You know, I started doing that too. And the thing is, I've noticed that if I don't do it and it's on my list, then I don't get guilty like putting myself down.
But it drops.
But it definitely makes me think like, come on, this was a priority. Why didn't I do this? So a lot of moms say that they don't have time for that. So what is some way that they can kind of get back into exercise and movement?
Yeah, so 20 minutes.
Okay.
Give me 20 minutes 3 times a week. Start there, especially if you're starting from nothing. Like, give me something, because the piece is that we want to build in consistency.
Right.
So if you feel like you don't have an hour, you'll be like, oh, I'll just skip it. I'll do it the next day. And then you'll skip it and you'll skip it and you'll skip it. And then it's December.
It's
and you've
snowballed.
skipped your entire workout, and no one's starting during Christmas season, right? Like no one's starting that. So if you say, okay, I have 20 minutes 3 times a week, then you're building in that consistency, and then you can work up from there.
Right.
But you can do a lot in 20 minutes.
That's true. And it's interesting because the more I've gotten into fitness, my coach always tells me it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. So you drop off one day, you just get back. Like I was on vacation this weekend, I lived it up, I had a great time.
We like that.
But I'm back on track today.
Right, because the thing is, people always think it's a motivation thing, like that the motivation is going to get you there. Guess what? I'm barely ever motivated, and I'm not lying, and I do this for a living. I'm hardly ever motivated to like work out every day, but I'm consistent.
But I think
so
when we see folks like you, though, we think that you're perfect, but no one's perfect. So keep that in mind. How can moms get their kids involved?
Yeah, so do it as a family. So that can be a dance break while you're cooking together. That can be a walk. I love a little evening walk to kind of just calm everybody down before bedtime.
That's a great idea.
It's just the ways that we're involving the entire family, so it doesn't feel like a chore or something else we're adding to the schedule, but like trying to figure out how does it already fit into our schedule.
Right, and I think that would be nice too as a stress reliever. You know, you're talking about your day while you're on the walk, and just
learning each other more, especially as they're changing as they grow. It's incredibly important.
Got to savor those moments.
Yes.
So what's one mistake though you see moms making when they try to get back on track?
Oh, everybody wants to do it all at once.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, we're starting on Monday, and they're like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m.
Right.
I'm going to meal prep every meal this week. I'm going to work out every day this week. And it's like, actually, you're probably not, and then you're going to feel like a failure if you did not do it. Right. So to the point of just like getting something consistent, we want you to plan for your life now and not like your fantasy life. I pray that you get to your fantasy life. I want you to get to your fantasy life, but if you're planning towards something that you don't have right now, like you are setting yourself up for failure. You're going to be overwhelmed. If you don't have an hour for the gym right now, don't put it in your calendar.
Yeah.
Don't make that the goal.
Yeah.
That's not the goal.
Yeah, you want to do little things every day. Maybe just add on and kind of build up.
Exactly.
All right, so JacksonvilleMom.com, they have a lot of things for you there, but if they want to follow you, how do we do that?
Fit Enough Everywhere, or Fit Enough with Dominique Landry.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us get back on track.
Yes, girl.
I kind of needed that motivation on a Monday here. All right, well, coming up, we're going to take a look at your forecast for the week, plus maybe even a look into the tropics. But hey, it's looking nice right now. Stick around. We'll find out more.
You're too scared.
Welcome to your worst nightmare at Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
First Coast Living wants to send you to Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. Be the 12th person to call 904-605-2525. Lines are open now. Rules and more at firstcoastnews.com/contests.
Welcome back. If you haven't heard yet, the Pearl Street Square is becoming a reality soon. So here to tell all about it is Emily from Gateway Jacks, along with Ben and Lauren of Buckner's Beer Hall, a local business opening their doors in the new Pearl Square. So yes, you've heard of them before, but now we got an opportunity for some newness, and I'm excited to talk about that in just a second. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Emily, let's start with you. What is Pearl Square for those who don't know, and what is Gateway Jacks creating in downtown Jacks?
Pearl Square is the most exciting new neighborhood that's come to downtown Jacksonville in many, many years. It is a 30 city block redevelopment that's happening right in the north part of downtown, just a few blocks away from James Weldon Johnson Park, right around the corner from City Hall. So it's right there in a long forgotten area that is getting a lot of love right now.
Well, good. I'm glad. You guys are doing great stuff around the city too. What makes Pearl Square different though from a traditional mixed use development?
Well, the planning that went behind it has really been thought out. So this is 4 years plus in the making. And now we're about to open our first residential building, which will be Vanderveer. That opens in the fall, along with lots of retail and food and beverage underneath.
Awesome.
We have the new hotel, Hotel Marydale, which is going to be in the former Ambassador Hotel, which is right there in downtown. And we're getting our first boutique hotel in a long time. I know, it's amazing. So excited about that.
Very cool.
And so we're excited to bring Buckner's as our first outdoor beer garden tenant, and we can't wait for them to open in the fall.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little different because the other one's beer hall. This is going to be a beer garden. So tell us the difference. What can we expect?
So you're going to see lots of communal tables that you can come and sit with some new friends or bring your old friends with. You come up, grab a beer, order some brats, or we're gonna have some nice sandwiches that you can grab and go if you like, and then just hang out and have a good time.
That's awesome. Why do you think that Buckner's is such a strong fit for Pearl Square?
So I think it's really interesting because Buckner's itself has evolved over time. We do a lot of different things throughout our festivals. We do kind of a more finer dining, late night, it's very almost like club-like in there. So we're very adaptable to a lot of things.
That's
and
cool.
especially like going into like a new project like this, we have to be able to adapt to see what comes our way.
And then the Vanderveer, is that what we call it? Okay, so what can people experience first when they experience that?
Well, Vanderveer will be opening right alongside the beer garden, which is amazing. So we'll have a place for tenants to come and have happy hours and enjoy, but also we have 2 beautiful public spaces. We have the Porterhouse lawn, which is going to be on our north side where they'll be located, and then we have a beautiful Porterhouse fountain area, which is they sit right next to the Porterhouse Mansion, which is a historic mansion that was designed by Henry Clouthier, and so we're really honoring that with the name too.
Wow, you guys have really put a lot of thought in this, it sounds like. Lauren, what can viewers expect at Porterhouse Lawn? Or Ben.
It'll be all kinds of programming. We're going to be hosting things every day. It'll be whether it's play dates with kids and their caregivers, or dog parents who want to bring out their pups on Friday nights.
That would be cool.
Just lots of community things that we want to just really grow and develop for the neighborhood and really for all of Jacksonville, not just this downtown community.
Well, I think what you guys are doing is fantastic. Okay, now you can tell me what you're putting together for me. How about? What are you putting together for me here?
So we brought a couple of special beers for you, and then an Underberg. Do you want to explain more what the Underberg is?
So I'll start with the Underberg. So they're a German digestif and bitter. Traditionally had after a meal to kind of help settle your stomach, keep you, as they say, bright and alert after a good meal.
Instead of heavy and tired.
Yeah, exactly.
We call that German food.
And then we brought 2 of our really nice beers that we have. This is Polliner's Oktoberfest. We brought that because Oktoberfest starts second to last weekend of September.
Gosh, it's
so that's
coming
right
up.
around the
It's
corner.
crazy.
And then one of my personal favorites, Erdinger over here, which is a nice Weiss beer. So it's a wheat-based beer.
Oh yeah, I like those too. All right, so how do we take this? We're gonna end with this.
It's best to take it all in one go.
So we're doing a shot. Really quickly, how can folks get more information on all the coolness you guys got going on?
Well, definitely come and visit us in Murray Hill at Buckner's Beer Hall. We'll be happy to tell you a little bit about that.
Okay, great.
Also, I would just keep up on the socials. That's usually the best way to get the best information.
And pearlsquare.com.
There you go.
And Gateway Jacks has its own website as well, and we have all of our Instagrams. So
wonderful.
There's lots of places to find us.
Well, cheers to that. Do we say Prost?
Prost.
There you go.
Prost.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll be right back.
Live from the studios of First Coast News, Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. This is First Coast Living.
Welcome back. It is now time for Rain or Shine with meteorologist Mike Perangli.
You get the Gold Star Award today. I know your allergies are bothering you. I feel itchy in my throat, but
I'm
here
congested, and I think it's that.
we got ragweed pollen. And
that's what I'm allergic
folks
to.
Don't realize that's the mold spores are high this time of year. So it usually is a difficult time as we go in August, September, even the first part of October.
Yeah.
All that rain adds up. And speaking of rain, today, picking up the kids from school, and some evening plans. There will be some scattered thunderstorms, and some of these storms could be on the strong side. For the jumbo shrimp, they're back home this week. This is important. Ooh. Home sweet home, a 6-game homestand.
Oh, wow.
It does include temperatures in the 70s at 7:05, so that means we're going to have a lot of rain the next couple days that'll cool us off.
Okay, good.
And then it should end as they're getting out there to throw that first pitch. And then the hot game would be Friday. That's because the Jaguars are playing at home and there's a doubleheader. So jumbo shrimp at noon and then the Jaguars at 7:30.
Oh my gosh.
Should be a lot of fun.
That is going to be a fun day.
Tropics, you're going to see a lot of bubbles out there, but the good news is nothing close to home, and these systems are likely to stay out to sea. One quick peek at the 10-day, not showing anything too hot. Once we get through one hot day today, and nice beneficial rain. There you go.
This looks way better.
Oh,
Thank you so much for that.
You got
and thank you for the update on the pollen. Now I know why I'm congested. All right, let's head into the kitchen now because it's time to eat.
Let's go.
Hey guys, back here with Chef Prime, and we've got David over here.
Yeah.
So what did you whip up while I was doing those other interviews?
So we whipped up my signature lamb chops, jerk lamb chops.
Jerk?
Yes. Okay. And we made mashed potatoes from scratch.
Oh God, they look good.
Mashed potatoes from scratch, and then we made the French green beans.
Oh my gosh.
You know, good for fine dining or date night.
That's
or
beautiful.
something like that. It's an easy meal to whip up, but it's very powerful.
Okay, can I try some?
Yes, you can.
Should I get that one that's already done?
Yeah.
All right, so while I'm chewing.
I have you a fork too.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think I could, will it break with just a fork or do I need a knife, you think?
There you go.
Look, and they've got the gold utensils. I feel special.
Yeah.
All right, while I'm doing this, tell us a little bit about, you guys make a great team, been working together for years.
Right.
Tell us about your story.
So we met over 15 years ago.
Wow.
And we both were in part of another business at a time in our life.
Yes.
And so David was a chef at the time.
Amazing, by the way.
And so, we met back up recently. Good friend, good mentor, just a good person.
Aww.
So we want to work with the best.
That's awesome.
So we're just making it happen, and we're collabing, and everything's coming together. It's good
I think
to have
that's
good
fantastic.
people.
What's your favorite part about working with him?
His leadership in the private sector, just private events, his tenacity to schedule things, be on time, make sure everybody follows the standard, the high standard.
You guys have a high standard.
Yeah, it's the high standard, and we just work great together, and I'm excited to keep working with you.
Yeah, future's in front of us. Yeah, me too. I'm excited. Thank you.
Now for the catering part, do you do breakfast, lunch, dinner catering, desserts? Like what, do you kind of cover it all?
So we cover it all. We do brunch. We do brunch catering.
Oh, I would like that too.
Yesterday we just did a wedding at the Bellamont venue in Callahan, where we were in charge of doing the charcuterie board.
Oh, okay.
So we
mix
do.
it up.
Yeah, we come on site and we make it happen.
So custom to the customer, and
Yeah.
they can just kind of pick what they want from
Right.
your list.
Yeah,
I think that's
absolutely.
fantastic. By the way, this is outstanding. So one more time, if folks are interested in hiring you guys, how can they do that?
So you can reach us at Prime 802 Cater on Instagram. You can reach us at 802 Prime on Facebook. And you also can reach us at Prime 802 Cater on Twitter. And my email again is prime802cater@outlook.com.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much for being here today. All right, I can't wait to try the next thing y'all are going to bring because you're coming back. This food's amazing.
We'll be glad for you to have us back. And then don't forget, we'll be catering the Christmas party.
They're doing it again this year for us. So thank you again. I'm going to keep eating. In the meantime, we'll be right back.
We have such sights to show you.
Hello?
Step into your worst nightmare at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Hellraiser, Stranger Things 5, Sinners, and more.
Hey guys, we are here at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park. I have the curator of education, Josie Taylor, with us, and we are hanging out with giant tortoises. This is amazing. Josie, thank you so very much for having us here. Please tell us where we're at. What are we doing?
Yeah, so you guys are currently in our Galapagos tortoise yard. This is an extra encounter that we offer for guests so they can come on in and hang out with our various individuals here, like Mrs. Pryor right behind us.
In her little pool area.
In her little pool. She's got a little wallow going on. You know, tortoises not necessarily known for swimming like turtles, but they still do like to sit down and soak every once in a while, drink some water, have a good time. But this is an encounter that you can do with our education department, and you can also do it with our photo booth as well. So you can come down, get your photos taken with some of our friends, and learn a little bit more about them.
I think it's great. This is super neat enclosure. So when we walk me through the process. So, you know, I've got my ticket to come down here. We're walking through the gate. What's next?
So the first thing you're going to do is either meet with your educator or photographer. They're going to just go over some general safety guidelines, right? We want to make sure when we're in here, we're nice and safe. This is the animal's home.
Right.
We are the guests, right? And each individual in here has their own distinct personality. They could react to us all differently, but some things to keep in mind, right? Turtles and tortoises, they love those bright colors. So you want to know where their mouth is, because orange could be
blue
shoes.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for the feet, David.
So we want to be nice and safe. We also want to be nice and safe when they're walking around, because each individual here fairly heavy. The female Galapagos tortoises, they can weigh upwards of 200 pounds. And males, like our friend Abercrombie, weigh in the back.
So big. Oh my gosh, massive.
They're the largest species of tortoise in the world, and males can weigh over 500 pounds.
No way. What about ages?
Varies, depending on the individual, right? But they're gonna live 100, 175.
What? That's amazing. Say what?
For real.
It's gonna keep going. Each individual can live for a different amount of time. We like to say average 175.
That's
just that
on average.
On that high max range, right? Our oldest individual in the yard right now actually is Mrs. Pryor. She's in her 90s.
Pryor.
How do you do, ma'am?
You look great for your 90s.
Yeah, you look great.
Okay, so how long does the whole experience take? Like that kind of deal?
It depends on each individual guest, right? We advertise it as about a 20 to 30 minute encounter. Sometimes it's a little bit shorter, sometimes it's a little bit longer. Depends on how many questions do the guests have, how active are the tortoises with us today. We do say this is a voluntary experience for the tortoises. So we're gonna come down here, we're gonna talk to you about the tortoises. We will interact with the tortoises if they want to interact, but we're not ever gonna force that interaction for them.
So we want to respect the animal.
Yeah, so what do you mean by interaction though?
So when you're down here, you do have the ability to get your photos taken and touch the tortoises.
The shell?
The shell, and everyone's once in a while, if the educator says it's okay, you can actually touch their neck as well. Depends on if they're doing what we call posturing. So when they push all the way up and they stand and they stretch out like that, then we can go ahead and touch that neck for them.
It's a little safer when they're all the way up.
That's cool.
Yeah, these guys actually have a symbiotic relationship with various birds in the Galapagos, and those birds are going to sit on their shell. They're going to peck off bugs or parasites, dead skin. So we're kind of filling that role for them here. It is still educational for everybody here. It's helpful for the tortoises, and it's just a fun way to do something a little bit extra with your family at the alligator farm.
That is so cool. Okay, so let's go play with some tortoises, and then if folks want to, do this themselves, where do we send them?
They are going to go to alligatorfarm.com. They're going to click Book an Encounter for our animal encounters, and they'll see all sorts of different ones like our Galapagos tortoise there. If they are not seeing them online, there is always the possibility to book with us here in person. They just got to talk to our gift shop staff when they come in to see if those encounters are already booked or not.
Oh, Mrs. Pryor's coming to say hello.
Mrs. Pryor's coming to say hello. So we're gonna go say hello too.
So cute. I am so excited to bring you to the Pickle Factory in St. Augustine. I'm here with the co-founder, Charlotte Zabari. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. Glad you're here.
This is so cool. I mean, when you walk in, it's all things pickle, whether you want to eat it or maybe put it in your hair. I don't know. They've got so many things here. So first of all, tell us about the Pickle Factory and why you chose St. Augustine for your second location.
Sure thing. Well, we have our store in Jax. It's been doing really well, and we found just this incredible building here in uptown neighborhood of St. Augustine on San Marco Avenue, and it's just like the perfect environment for the Pickle Factory. So it was really like a building-led thing, and yeah, that was a few months ago, and now our location is newly open. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Thanks. And so what can people expect when they walk in?
So it's going to be just like a visual extravaganza of, yes, all things pickles. Of course, we have literal pickles, and then we've got pickle accessories, pickle apparel. I always say if you can put a pickle on it, we sell it in the store. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
And so why would you say folks need to add this to their bucket list when they come to St. Augustine?
Well, we really truly are the world's first and only pickle superstore.
Really?
Yes. So yeah, there isn't another place quite like the Pickle Factory. Yeah, we're obsessed with pickles, and I think we have more pickle product than anywhere on the planet. So for that reason alone, I would say it's definitely worth the trip.
Okay, well I have to ask, why pickles? Why was that your specialty, or pickled items? Because it's even more than just pickles.
Sure thing, yeah. Well, originally our first brand was All of My Pickle, which is a fermented food line. And so we've been doing pickles for a good 15, 16 years in the area here. And then we got the opportunity to open the store, and originally it was just a place where we were gonna sell All of My Pickle. But in the process of opening, we realized, okay, we have something a little bigger and better than just that, and here we are with Pickle Factory.
And by the way, she has brought multiple things for us to try, but the olives are amazing.
Yeah, the olives are also great. Yes, yeah. And that's at the Pickle Factory, we sell pickles, but we have pickle adjacent items too that make sense on the plate with the pickle, like olives and cheese and charcuterie things. So yeah, plenty of grocery variety.
And it seems like you even have like the sauerkraut and the kimchi. And live brine. Tell everyone what that is.
Sure. Okay, so that's our line of pickle juice, and they're all different colors and flavors, and they're beautiful, and they're all naturally colored.
If folks are a little intimidated, can they try some of your items before they buy?
Definitely, we get it, we understand, we hear you. So yeah, we have a tasting bar, and we're tasting and sampling. We're open 7 days a week and sampling at the tasting bar. We want people to be able to try. If we can sample it here, you can try it. Yeah, yeah.
And in terms of accessories, I mean, there's books, there's clothing, the accessories, like you mentioned, little bags. I mean, it is like heaven for gift giving, I think. What would you say are some of your best sellers?
Sure. Well, a lot of kids of all ages love the novelty products, like the squeaky pickles. I would say the pickle candy does well, especially the taffy. Yeah, that's like a must-have at the Pickle Factory. So, toys. There's pet toys. We actually sold out of our pet toys over grand opening weekend. Yeah, who'd have thought? But Yeah, pets are pickle people too. That's what we say. Yeah.
That's right. And Professor Meat, as we call him, he was eyeing the popcorn. The pickle
Oh yeah, the popcorn's a hit. Yep.
And the pickle pillows.
Pickle
It's
pillows.
so cute here.
It goes on and on.
And then I noticed out front too, where you park, there's like a little gaming area.
Yeah, we want the family to come out and hang and yeah, sit in the shade, have a pickle on a stick. Like, you know, you came all this way, you may as well hang out for a while. So that's what we call the yard. And there's games out there, and it's just, yeah, there's a little like mini truck, and you can take pictures in front of. So yeah, it's a fun time.
All right,
Yeah.
so you've got your new location in St. Augustine. Exactly what's the landmark you can tell folks?
Sure. So we're on San Marco Avenue, which is like the entryway corridor. If you know downtown, we're just a little bit north of that, but on that same main drag.
Well, I cannot wait to shop. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm definitely going to try some samples too.
For
So
sure.
I think it's time for that. Let's head over here.
Okay.
Take a little peek, just a little peek. All right, guys, it's time for another David Will Do It. I'm at Azar Sausage. I'm actually with one of the Azars right here. I've got owner John Azar with me. Thank you so much for having me here, man.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so Azar Sausage is an institution here in Jacksonville.
Yep.
It's been here for a long time. So tell the folks at home a little history about Azar Sausage.
Yeah, so basically, been in town, Jacksonville, over 70 years, which I love because there's not a lot of family businesses that still have not sold out to the big corporate. So my grandfather came over from Lebanon, came to Jacksonville, opened up a grocery store right down the street here, and he was selling beer, cigarettes, wine, things like that. Then a friend of his went down there and said, listen, John, money is in meat. He says, you got to learn how to make sausage. That's where the money is. So they put their heads together, came up with a recipe, and we've never deviated from that recipe. We've had it 70 years. And then he became a full-fledged Azar Sausage company. He did it. My dad got involved in it in his early teens. He kind of fell into your father's footsteps. And then my dad did it about 60 years. He retired it, yeah. And now me and my brother Phil are doing it, and then he's just brought on his 2 sons. So we're rolling into 4th generation.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what a great story.
Yeah, people love the story. They love local.
Listen, your andouille sausage is my favorite in town by far, hands down. But you guys also make a whole bunch of other sausages. So like, what all do you make?
So andouille's a good one, red beans and rice. One of my favorites, actually. We do a really good chorizo, hot sausage. We do Italian. We do breakfast links, patties. If you can stuff in the casing, we can pretty much make it. So that's easy. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to go get to work, huh?
So I know you can do anything, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But some stuff is kept under wraps. We got a lot of secrets. So I'm not going to let you in the sausage room. There's a lot of other jobs I got for you.
Okay.
So why don't we go inside and take a look?
All right, let's go. Let's do it,
Come
man.
on.
This is gonna be great. All right, Phil.
All right, Dave.
It's time to get to work, right?
Let's get it.
Okay, so what are we gonna start with?
We're gonna have you box up these neck bones. We gotta get them to the grocery stores.
Okay.
So these are fresh neck bones. We're gonna take them out of this bin. We're gonna rebox them into 30-pound boxes, ship them out, get them weighed up so we can ship to the stores.
Okay, so you just grab and go?
Get them and go. Fill these boxes up.
All right.
You gotta be quick too.
Oh, you gotta be quick.
There you go. Once you get them done up, then we'll take them over here and we'll weigh them up.
All right. Neck bones. This is very serious.
All right, Dave. Now you got to weigh them up. We got to have them 30 pounds. We're going to put them on the box. Get 30 pounds. Yeah, we're perfect. 31.8. They're going to get a little bit extra. So close it up.
I swear I've like moved before.
We're going to need to go a little faster, Dave. I can't make any money like this, buddy.
We're not making any money as fast as I'm going. Or how slow I'm going.
Manufacturing's all about speed. There you go. And it's ready for the grocery store.
All right, Phil, what's next?
All right, David. Right now we're going to get the smoked pigtails ready for the grocery store.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and finish getting the pigtails in there.
There we go.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and put the water in there.
Okay. Dude, that's a gang of water. Don't spill it.
Yeah. And last, we're going to go ahead and get the seasoning.
Oh, yes, the good stuff.
Yeah.
Seasoning smells good.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and get it covered up, put a vacuum on it, and get it tumbled.
Okay, great.
All right.
Cool. I'm in the smoke room. I wish we had smell-o-vision. You'd understand how great it smells inside of here. Let's take a little peek, just a little peek. I can feel my eyes burning. It's so amazing in here. All right, Phil. All right, well, the sausage is on. We've packed it up into the chill. What do we do
All right,
now?
Dave, we're not going to play with the sausage today. We're going to pack it.
Okay.
Then what we're going to do is we've got it chilled down. We're going to get it in the vacuum pack pouches. We're going to code date it. We're going to label it. And then we're going to get it to the stores again.
Okay, cool. There are bags. Excellent. Sausages, sausages. Happy little sausages. I'm getting smoked. She's done like 3 of them to my one. This is ridiculous. Yeah. She's like done.
Box, tape it up. and then we're going to send it to the store.
Right to the grocery store, to your house. All right, special thanks to Phil and John for hooking us up. The last thing left is to put these sausages on the truck so they can go to your plate. We'll see you guys next time.
Well, do you know